Hello Channel viewers, I am DS, your psychologist, and welcome to another episode on Channel NITT. In this episode, I'm going to discuss a phenomenon or a problem that only NI users will understand, particularly the ENTJ and the INTJ. So in a lot of our previous episodes, we really put NI on the pedestal. It's almost as if I worship NI. I really enjoy having NI as my co-pilot because NI helps me in many different ways. So for one thing, I really appreciate that NI allows me to go into this mental space, into this mental universe, into this mental iCloud, whereby everybody's memories are deposited. I call this the repository or the reservoir. And from there, I can predict outcomes or tell what a person may have gone through. However, NI can also be a nuisance. For the matter, NI users definitely do not use SI, so we can go really mental. So in my case, as an ENTJ, I often think about what to talk about for our next video, in the bus for example, and it's all very mental. I thought, wow, this is a good idea. I will remember to go back home and do this episode. But when I go back home, I forgot what the topic is. Why? Because I simply refuse. It's so annoying to put it down on paper. It's such a simple thing to do, but NI users are very mental. They prefer to process things in the mental space. Sometimes it can be very frustrating when we forget. And NI users can be rather forgetful, particularly ENTJs. So ENFJs can also be really forgetful because NI is their auxiliary function. Another problem I have with NI is called the NI grip. It really caused me to lack self-discipline. I want to talk about this in two different ways. One is self-discipline with SI stuff. So sometimes I want to do bookkeeping because I want to track my expenditure. I can only do this for at most 2 months, then I give up. The ENTJ is SI blind, which means SI is their weakest function. So for the ENTJ, they are definitely not good with introverted sensing SI stuff. So therefore, we can really lack discipline in doing very routine stuff. So I can be very motivated. Motivation is a TE trait. TE is very objective driven. It will motivate me to do things. So let's say I want to do YouTube videos. I am very motivated. At one point in time, I even want to do 2 videos in 1 week. I want to resume that regime that we used to start off with. But NI is always holding me back. Because NI can be very strong, so it really affects my self-discipline. I want to do it, but NI sometimes just prevents me from doing it by making me feel as if, yeah, I got the motivation, I want to continue doing it because TE is still the pilot. The co-pilot says, okay, it can wait. Sometimes NI gives me such a headache, it is horrible. Okay, another way in which self-discipline can be really affected is when I want to quit something. Take note, I have seen many other MBTI types having struggles with self-discipline. Like INFPs and ISFPs, they are FI dominant, right? So they really have problems trying to prevent themselves from calling someone. Let's say my advice to them is that stop calling this person, he's not worth it. Or stop calling this person, you make yourself too available and therefore you are not attractive. They really find it a very big struggle to not call that person. For the ENTJ, no such problems. When it comes to people, we are very self-disciplined. I don't contact you means I don't contact you. But as an ENTJ, I am really struggling with objects or tasks. Tasks are very difficult to follow and complete. We can be very motivated to, for example, quit alcohol. I can come up with a lot of strategies which I really execute, like put all the alcohol away, or if I'm a shopaholic, I don't bring my credit card out. It works only for a few days and then relapse. My NI will persuade TE, hey, you know it's very illogical or not sensible if you don't have a credit card with you. You can bring it, but then you need not spend. Or NI can persuade TE in such a way that say that, oh, maybe this is the real test of your self-discipline, and then the entire thing crumbles. I'm not too sure for fellow ENTJs like yourself and INTJs, do you have this kind of a problem as well? Self-discipline is a big problem. Motivation is not a problem. We are motivated, but then how do we get the momentum going? It's sometimes such a struggle. I have a lot of INTJ friends who also struggle to try to get things done. So we are too mental up here, and then we don't get going. Sometimes we want to quit or we want to drop a bad habit, and I also prevents us from doing so. Why? Because it's just too comfortable to be thinking it up here than really doing it. We think of a lot of strategies, and then we can execute it, but then because we do not have SI, it does not last. We cannot follow through. So currently I am in a state whereby I'm very annoyed with myself for lack of self-discipline. What to do about it, I'm not too sure. Fellow ENTJs and INTJs, if you have experienced this before and you have a solution, do comment below so that we can learn from each other, okay? Alright, at Channel NITT we produce a lot of INTJ and ENTJ videos such as this one. If you have enjoyed our video, do give us a like. If you have not yet subscribed, do consider subscribing so that we can bring you more INTJ, ENTJ and fun stuff. Okay, I'm going to sign off now and I'll see you in our next episode. Bye bye.